Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining Unbreakable-You. I am your coach, Olga Benyaminov, and today I want to talk about something very interesting that happened to me this morning. I usually don't go live on Fridays, but today I really got inspired by a very nice conversation with a good friend of mine this morning on my way to do some shopping and things like that. So today's conversation was about me with a friend who said something honest, right? And that stayed in my mind. And I said, I gotta go live with this because I'm sure other people are questioning that. So he told me over the phone, you are the full package. So why are you still single? I just don't understand. There must be more to you that I'm not seeing. Maybe I'm not spending enough time with you because that's impossible. And I know didn't mean it in a cruel way, but I think it was so genuinely confusing for him because he sees this woman that I am, and I don't play who I am. This is who I am. I am the full package. But then there is this misunderstanding of the social assumption that if a woman is single, especially a strong woman, there must be something wrong with her. Why is it that this woman, business owner, raising her kids herself, working very hard, getting the food ready by herself, has the whole house in control, and still single? So the thought that is there, and I'm not the only one. There are so many strong women that I know that are still single, because I'm sure what was in his mind is maybe she's difficult, maybe she is too guarded, maybe she's too dependent, maybe too independent, maybe she is intimidating, and maybe she just can't keep a relationship. Because honestly, being in a relationship is not easy. But that assumption says more about society than it would say about the woman. So today I want to talk about this conversation in a few minutes because this conversation is about strength. It's about standards. It's about healing. It's about relationships and about commitments. And it really is about why healthy love has become so rare. And why do more women like me are not able to find their other half? So my response to this dear friend was, because I'm a strong woman and most men can't handle me. Now, when I say strong, I don't mean masculine. I mean strong in a way that is hard to describe, but I'll try to do my best. I don't mean controlling. I don't mean difficult. I mean emotionally strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong, financially strong, self-aware, resilient, and what's important, no longer willing to abandon herself to keep a relationship. I don't allow myself to be used physically while someone gives me confusion emotionally. I'm not looking for temporary attention. I'm not looking for situationship. I'm not looking for half love, inconsistency, uncertainty. And that's what I told him. I want the full package. I want commitment, loyalty, emotional connection, consistency, effort, honesty, partnership, and growth. And honestly, most people are afraid of that level of depth and accountability. Because yes, this is accountability. It takes a strong man to be able to handle a strong woman. Now let me explain what I mean by that. I don't mean that it takes a controlling man. I don't mean a man that is ego-driven man. And I don't mean a man who wants obedience instead of partnership. I mean a secure man. Someone who is emotionally mature enough to be able to communicate. Someone who is ready to commit and not shopping around. Someone who respects boundaries. Someone who leads with integrity and can handle emotional depth. Because yes, relationships are not easy, but it takes two to tango. And it takes a man who is not feeling threatened by a woman who knows her worth. Because some men are attracted to strong women until they realize that women also require consistency. They require accountability, honesty, and they do require emotional maturity. I think strong women are often very much misunderstood because when a woman has standards, when she stops tolerating disrespect, when she speaks up for herself, and when she no longer settles, people sometimes label her as being difficult, intimidating, too picky, too independent, or really hard to love. But maybe she simply learned the hard way what happens when she ignores red flags. Maybe she just learned what happens when she gives too much to people who were never serious about her. And if we talk about this honestly, think about it. Have you ever felt judged just for being single? Do you think healthy love has become harder to find? Do you think people today fear commitment? Because I think that's the situation. We live in a very strange generation. People want connection, they want loyalty, they want deep conversations, they want emotional intimacy. But many people are so afraid of the very same things. They are afraid of commitment, they are afraid to be vulnerable, they're afraid for accountability, and they're afraid to take emotional responsibility. People want relationship benefits without the relationship responsibility. Some people want access to you without the responsibility of valuing you. And that's exactly why boundaries matter. Now, let me also say honestly, after heartbreak, and I've been through that, betrayal, disappointment, I had 2 divorces, one that lasted about 2 years and the other that lasted, a marriage that lasted about 2 years and a marriage that lasted about 10 years. I have been through rejection. I have been through emotional pain. So when people go through this, they become guarded. And there's a difference between boundaries and walls. A healed heart has boundaries. A wounded heart has walls. So healing is learning the difference. Because I'm not having a wall, I have boundaries. Because when you protect your peace, that is what healthy is. But shutting everyone out because of fear is not healing. When you have those walls, it's because you are still not healed. And interesting enough, I had a conversation with another single woman a couple of days ago, and she said there are no more good men out there. There are good men out there. There are amazing men out there that, yes, they are single, and they're having the same struggle we do. So when you put your mindset into all men are bad, you're basically creating that wall. And that is what you're going to get in return. All men are bad. I don't think so. I just think that I need to find exactly what I'm looking for. That I'm not going to settle for someone who just okay for mediocre. And one of the biggest lies of society, and society tells that to women, is always, if you are single, something must be wrong with you. Relationship status is not proof of worth. Some people are in a relationship, but they're emotionally starving. They're miserable. Some people are married, but they're so unhappy. And some people settle just because they're afraid of being alone. Now, you need to know that being alone doesn't mean lonely. And some people stay single because they finally learned not to abandon themselves. Now, just to piggyback on me, I am a very family oriented person. I love being in a relationship, love being married. But when you choose yourself first, you don't settle for something that doesn't fit you. So when my friend said, there must be more to you that I'm not seeing, he said, I probably don't spend enough time with you and I don't see those flaws. Honestly, maybe there is. I'll tell you what it is. Maybe there is healing that people don't see. Maybe there are those scars that I have. People don't see them. There is this resilience that people don't see. Maybe there are lessons, boundaries, disappointments, sacrifices, and growth that people don't see. Because hidden pain does not reduce someone's value. And I want to say this especially to those strong women that are watching me right now and they are single and they're dealing with the same struggle or the same situation that I am. It is not struggle to be single. I don't see it as a struggle. I don't pity on being single. When time comes, when the right man comes, then that's what I want. Don't settle for less. Being strong does not mean we don't deserve love. You need to understand that being strong, we still want to be soft. We still want emotional safety. We still want partnership, affection, support, consistency, protection, and peace. Strength is not the absence of emotions. Being a strong woman doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It just means that sometimes strength simply means life forced us to become resilient. So if you're listening to this today, male, female, strong, and people have ever made you feel like being single is proof that something is wrong with you, I want you to hear this. You don't owe the world an explanation of your timeline. And you should never shrink yourself just to make insecure people comfortable. The right man will not be intimidated by your strength, by your wanting of commitment. The right man will value this, respect this, and match this. And let me say this. I am not hard to love. I am simply no longer easy to be misused. I want to end this with this statement for you all. You are not too much. You are not behind. You are not difficult. You may simply be learning not to settle. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope that this is really enlightening you. And to my dear friend who inspired me for this conversation, thank you for asking this question. Because maybe the better question isn't why is she single? Maybe the real question is, why has healthy love become so rare? Have a good weekend, guys.